Hello my friend, welcome to my channel Zip. I hope that you are well. Now to finish this project, let's now learn about the technique called refactoring in order to get rid of some of our duplicate code. So as I said in the previous video, by the end we have some repeated code in our project, and more especially where we can really see this in these two scenarios where the gas is too high and also where the gas is too low. Okay, so as you can see, all this if block is duplicated. So this code is really almost the same as this code down here. The only thing that really changed is this string too high and too low. Okay, so this message that we display if the gas is too high and too low. And so having a lot of duplicate code, remember, violate the don't repeat yourself principle. Remember this. So the dry principle. So right now, this is all of this code here is not dry. Now, why it is actually so bad to have duplicate code, you might ask. Well, one of the answers is that whenever we have duplicate code, when we then want to change some functionality, we have to change the same code in multiple places. For example, we want to change the message when the player loses the game. So this one here. Okay? Right? And then we would have to change it here and here, of course. In a small example like this, it is not a big problem, but it can quickly become a nightmare for a bigger code base. So try to avoid duplicate code, please, whenever you can. However, when the first write the code, then it is no big problem to start out with duplicate code, and then that's why I did it like this here. That's why we have this duplicate code, because I just want to make it work, but then as we move on into project, we can use a technique called refactoring. And refactoring basically means to restructure the code but without changing how it works. So basically, we do refactoring to improve the code and to eliminate duplicate code. And so let's now start to refactor all of this code here that we just talked about before. So the first step of refactoring is to identify with duplicate or almost duplicate code like we already have here. Okay, so this code here, okay, is almost the same as this one with this string here also. Okay, basically the only exception, and so what we're gonna do now is wait to eliminate here of the code. Here basically. So how we are going to do that? Well, this is this first if block checks if the gas is too high, and this is one checks if the gas is too low. But in both cases that we are really doing it to check if the gas is different from the secret number, right? So whenever the gas is different from the secret number, then all of this code here should get executed, right? Where the only thing that's changed is this string here, okay, too high and too low. So instead of having one big block for the case where the gas is too high and one for when the gas is too low, let's just have one block for the situation where the gas is different. So let me actually add the new else if block, and then we delete these two. Okay, so here what I will do, where gas is wrong, I like this, and here else where gas is different, and I will delete this one. So where gas is here different from secret number. So it means here where the gas is wrong. I will delete the both, don't worry. Okay, I will delete the second one, don't worry. So now we can just take this code, which is the same in 2 blocks, and we'll copy it and pass it here, okay? And now I can delete this one if you want. I don't need it, okay, because I will just change the text after this. Good. Okay, now what I will do. So this is what should happen, except that the too high should of course only happen when the guess is larger than the secret number. So now we still need a conditional to figure out if the guess is greater or lower than the secret number. Now, what I'm going to do here is to actually use a ternary operator, and so let me show you how. So I will say when the guess is greater in the secret number, then here the string should be too high. And if it's not, so else, then it means that the guess is less than a secret number. That's just the opposite, right? Okay, so let's do this here. Guess. I know it's very quick, so let's put it down. Here, where's the guess? Remember, it's higher than secret number. I use ternary operator. Here it is too high. Okay? Else, I will put too low. Of course, I deleted, no problem. So I will just copy this one. I added the icon again, and here it is too low. But of course, I will change the icon, emoji, sorry, tag, by this, because I have deleted the next one. Good. So that's it. So I will give it a save, and now we can safely comment if you want the previous code. If you don't delete it, okay, you can comment it if you don't want. If you want. So me, I've deleted. Okay. So let me again explain that to you. So first we unified the two conditions that we had earlier, where the guess was either greater or larger than a second number. Both of these basically mean that the guess is different than a secret number, and so we just created a block of that because of this code here is the same in both situations. Okay? The only thing that changed is the message that is displayed on a page, and so here we then basically determine that message with the ternary operator. Good. So here is where we then ask if the game is greater than the secret number, and if it is, then the text content here should be too high. But if it is not, then the text content should become too low. And remember that this works because the ternary operator is really an operator, and so it will return basically a value. Okay? So all of this here, all this operator will return a value, either this one here too high or this one too low. And so then that value is what we will get stored in the text content of this message element. So let's now test this actually. So let's see. 10, too high, probably it's working. Too low, it's working perfectly. 7, too high, so it is 6. Good. It's working very perfectly. Perfectly, yes, everything worked as well. So our refactoring here was indeed successful, and I hope it made sense to you. You can just pause the video and review your code in case that is not 100% clear yet. Okay? Alright. So we fix that by simply condensing two versions of almost the same code into just one. However, sometimes a good refactoring technique is also to create functions. For example, we have the same code here in multiple places. So we have, for example, this one in multiple places. You see? So we have it, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. So that's a lot of duplicate code, and the same is true for setting the number, or for setting the score, or also, for example, for calculating the this random secret number. We have the same code here and also here. You see, for the second number. And whenever that happens, we can also refactor this same code into a function and then call the function in all the places where we have to duplicate code. So basically, we can refactor functionality that we use over and over again into their own functions in order to make the code more dry. Now, I am not gonna do that into all the examples that I just mentioned, but I will do it with the setting the message text content. Alright? So what I will do is to copy this code here, and then I will create a function out here. Of course, this one. I can do it here in the first. I know it's very big now. I do it here. Okay. So you create function const, and I will call it display message. Oops. Okay, function. Good. So its function and the parameter will be message. Oops, what I write? Good. And then in the function block, all we will do is this repeated code. So query selector, copy paste. Okay. Text content. So setting the message, and then we will set it to equal to the message that we gave him in the parameter. Okay. All right. And now to show you how it works, we'll just use it to down here. So here, for example, in if the guess, where is it? Here. I will just do display message with this message. So simple. Okay. So this string is now the argument. Okay. And so this argument is what will become the message here in this function when I call it, right? And so then here we say document.querySelector for the message, .text content should be the message that we just passed, in that makes sense, right? And so basically we took this code here, okay, which is responsible for setting the message and put it into this display message function that we can now use everywhere instead of having this repetitive code. And just to show you that it works, let's now just actually do this. Check. It works perfectly. Okay, so when I click without any content, as you can see, we have no number displaying here. Okay, so let's now go ahead and replace all of this occurrence of this same code. So, what is it? Display message. Create selector. For message tag. I replaced it all of them. Where is it also? We have message here. Here of course, for function, of course. We have it also where? Here. Also. And here. Oops. Done. We have here. So. And here. Perfect. Oops. Okay. Right? But instead, if we simply have a function called display message, it is a lot easier to simply read the code and say, okay, this here probably means to display a message, and this here is gonna be the message, right? So that's a lot easier to understand when you read the code later, and that's also an important thing in web development. So here is another one. as I have let it. And this is the one that we just refactored earlier, so this one is gonna be a little bit different. Okay? So what I will do, so display message, and here I will do it. Where is it? Alright, here, so display message. Okay? And now here we need the argument, but that's not a problem. We can simply do the exact same thing that we did here. Okay, the same thing. There is no difference. Okay, so the argument will be this ternary operator because it is the value, remember. Okay, so now according to this condition, here the argument will either be too high or too low because the result of this operator, once again, will be either this first string here or this second string, and so that will then be the argument and the message will then be displayed accordingly. Okay? So I think I have changed them, changed all of them, I think. Yes, good. So everything works just the same, but our code is a little bit more dry now. And as I said, you could do the same for all the repetitive stuff here, which I will actually do not do here because that takes too much time. But you can, of course, have some fun and do it on your own. But there's really no need to do it. I just want to make a point here that this is a really important thing that we do when we write real code. So always keep refactoring in mind when you write your own code, and of course we will do a lot of refactoring through this course. Anyway, with this we finish this project again. I really hope that you like it and that you maybe showed it to a friend also and told him. You can tell him that you did it in this course and you know how much fun it really is to build something like this with JavaScript. Next up, in next video, inshallah, we have another project which is also gonna be really fun because we will build a real UI component, and that's gonna be a model window. So stay focused, stay tuned for that once you finish this one and really understood how all of this works. And I will tell you, take care of us, subscribe to my channel please, Faisal Azib, like the video, share it with your friends. Play this game with your friends. Take care of us. Salam Allahi wa barakatuh.